All right.
All right.
See how many people we get in
Yeah.
tonight. Are you hunting it all this weekend or what?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go to Justin's backyard. Um, they were coming up towards, I guess, towards his garden. We're gonna
Yeah.
kind of go to the garden and the soybean field. Just kind of hope for the best.
Yeah.
But we'll
Are
see. I mean,
y'all gonna go out on Sunday or Saturday?
probably just Saturday.
Saturday. You know that's his anniversary, right?
I didn't know that.
So I don't know if that's gonna happen. What's up, Matt?
What's going
Appreciate you,
on?
W6.
All right, W6. Yeah,
So
I
yeah, you
mean,
might wanna check with him on that one.
we haven't talked about it, so I don't know. But I don't know. We're gonna do a little goose hunting that morning, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think what we're gonna do is once our local geese drops out at the end of the month,
Mm-hmm.
we have that kind of limbo period of ducks here and there, and some geese here and there, and a little bit of everything. I think we're gonna go and we're gonna scout that property in Farmville and go tear it up and see what we can find in there and see if it's manageable.
Yeah. Oh,
So
Matt say he found a good wood duck hole this morning. So
what
today's the last day for wood duck here in Tennessee. And
really?
it switches over to teal all the way up until Sunday, and then that's pretty much it until November.
So you only get 2 weeks of duck hunting, really?
Yeah. Yeah, for September. But then again, we get to kill wood ducks too. So, and some guys they literally go out every single day and kill their two. You know,
You're only allowed two a day.
yeah, two wood ducks, and
Wow.
you can limit out with your teal. You're allowed to shoot up to 6 of those. So, and if you get your two wood ducks, and obviously that takes away from your 6, so you're allowed your 4 teal at that point.
Yeah, I a couple buddies of mine they were hunting just freshly cut cornfield,
Mm-hmm.
and they limited out that day. 6 guys, 60 birds,
Good Lord.
60 on the
In
ground.
Virginia, in Virginia?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say they're honey hole. I know what hole it
No,
is,
uh-uh.
but it's
But the state that they were in, where it was in Virginia.
they had a good spot, real good spot. They had some
Yeah,
water around, some ponds, good cornfield. Very well known farmer in the area.
yeah, that
They
is
did
good.
good. Yeah, they did good. They had them stacked up on the combine, man. It was a good picture.
Mm. Yeah, and that's the big. What's up, TRI? That's the big thing. Like if you're around, you got food, you got water, and especially if you're at the plate like on the X, so you're at the place where they want to be. I mean, it's a no brainer. You can sit out there all day long with almost no decoys and kill them.
And for everybody watching, this is our hole from a couple weeks ago behind me. You can see our silhouettes back there, and you can actually see us right there in the blinds.
I can't even point at it. Yeah.
Right there, and then we got our silhouettes up in there. But that field right there would have been perfect if there was water, and that's what, of course, Justin's plan is. If he were to ever buy it, the field next field over is to flood part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, just absolutely perfect. I mean, they'd fly just straight
Well,
over
if oh man, if y'all flooded that field
there.
back behind his house,
Oh
I've been
yeah,
telling him this for years. You flood that field, oh my! It's like the whole like that baseball game. Like you build it, they will come.
oh
Like
yeah,
for real, that would be like
yeah.
I wouldn't hunt anywhere else. I'd
I'd
literally
be,
wake up like 10 minutes right before shoot light and already have my stuff set up and just walk on back there.
and I told him, I said, and for deer hunting, I mean, all he'd have to do is, hell, he could probably sit on his toilet and shoot out of the window.
Yeah.
Last one right there.
Mm-hmm. That's the
So
life.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I went out to Reelfoot this past Saturday. Um, I met my buddies who are on here every once in a while, Boondock Adventures, which is Jason And then his buddy Brad came out. He's a younger guy. He's in his 20s. He came out, and then we pretty much took off from the boat ramp. I had Jason pull me since he had the motor, and I didn't have to piddle around with the trolling motor. So we got back tucked up in there in the lily pads, and dude, the birds were all over that lake. Like, if I would have planned it right, I probably would have took off, or I would have pre-planned it with my wife, and I would have took off like the extra throughout, until like today from work, and I would have just stayed out there and just wood duck and teal hunted because I mean it was, dude, they're all over the place. So, and then Saturday's hunt that morning, like I told you, I don't know what it is with my shooting. I need to go shoot some trap and skeet or something just to get back into it. But that was a fiasco in itself. The video footage is terrible. Sunday evening, I went back out with my son, and we got pissed on, and we didn't even get the hunt. By the time we got out there, like his gum boots were completely full of water. And then we went out yesterday evening, and I got to shoot at some birds, but it was a stretch. They weren't decoyed in, so
I was gonna say, didn't you shoot you shot a squirrel, didn't you?
I shot a squirrel back when I took him fishing. That was 2 weeks ago, I think. So that was fun. He got to he really likes it, like when I get something. So I don't know, he just acts completely different. Like super excited, like wants to like touch it and everything and hold it. So but,
Yeah, TR. I don't know. Where's TR at? He from Tennessee?
I think he's around. I think he's in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. The
TRI,
dove.
where are you at, bud?
I mean, I know here in Virginia, the dove. I don't know what's up with it. In the summertime they were hot, and then man, as soon as season opened up, they're gone. I mean,
Yeah,
it's been weird. Okay, he's
Maryland.
married.
That's what
Yeah, same
I
thing.
know.
I mean,
He's over there close to y'all. He's in Maryland.
the dove season has been terrible. It's just I don't know anybody who's even gotten close to their limit. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, I know a few guys out here in Tennessee have. Old W6, he just posted up not too long ago. I think it was today. They shot a limit of doves, but I mean, some guys around here they've been just picking them off like here and there. But Chase, another boy I hunt with around here, he's been tearing them up. He says it's been slow, but he'll still go out and kill like 10. So,
Now, what about ooh, back to your shotgun. Which one are you using right now?
the 870, and I have that Kicks modified choke in there. Which last season I was deadly with that thing. Like I was
Yeah.
shooting birds at like 35, 40 yards, like passing shots, and just folding them up. But it's like Sunday morning, I went to go water swat this hen, wood duck, and she was nothing but 30 yards, maybe not even farther than that. And she was back behind like this log, so I could see like her breast, her neck, and her head. And I put the bead right on her head, and I treated it like I was deer hunting. I squeezed the trigger, everything, and she turned around, got up, and flew off like nothing happened.
Oh. Did you pattern it all this year?
No,
What did we talk
could
about?
be it. But I didn't change anything up. I only changed shot size. I went down a number.
Are you using Kent's or?
Yeah, Kent 3-inch. And last year I shot number 3s, and this year I'm shooting 4s, which I don't see how.
Yeah, I don't. And I tell you, Tyler's 870. He got the Carlson long range ported. We were at 30, 40 yards, man. He was all kills, man. Right on the
Yeah,
money. Nice 40-60 split. He was pretty good.
but see, and that's where I fell into it with Justin when we were patterning before. It's like we were trying to get as tight as we could at like 30, 30, 40 yards. And then when I came out here and I was hunting, like a lot of these birds, like when I get them in this hole that I hunt all the time, like they're at like 15 yards, if that.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're shooting a extended range or something with like a full choke or something like that, your pattern is so tight, like you ain't gonna hit them. There ain't no way, unless if you're just a dead eye with a shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're speaking about your son going. That's what Tyler. We're gonna probably take his stepson out. He's been kind of he wants to go deer hunting, but I'm like, well, let's. He's still young. I feel like I don't know if he can be quiet and at least Goose he can talk and
Move
do whatever. He
around.
wants to do. Yeah,
Hmm.
move around a little bit. He doesn't have to be so still with deer hunting. I mean, granted,
Yeah,
if we're in a blind, it really doesn't matter, but you still got to be somewhat quiet in a blind for
and you can
deer.
keep them warm and everything.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna once the soybean field gets cut, and me and Justin dress in our blind out there for the year, for the rest of the season. I think we'll probably bring them out there.
Yeah, that's probably the best bet. I wouldn't really be honest with you. I wouldn't mess with the deer hunting stuff. Like I wouldn't take a kid until he's like
Uh-uh.
at least eighth or ninth grade.
Yeah,
So because what I think he's in his stepson's what sixth grade.
not even that. I don't
Not
think.
even that. He ain't
Yeah,
ready to do it.
yeah, no.
So
I think he's probably
yeah.
7 years old. So
So like that's a year older than mine, and mine can't sit still for more than like 2 minutes.
yeah,
So sitting in a deer stand, there ain't no way.
no, no. But I think, yeah, we'll see. I know, like we were talking about blind bags the other day. I've kind
Hmm.
of I overpacked. I will say. We were looking for certain things, and I'd end up having to go through digging through my blind bag like a 14-year-old girl with her purse. Trying to find mascara.
Yeah.
So I definitely overpacked. I've learned that I need to be a little bit more minimalist, but I had gloves in there. I had stuff for wintertime. I really need to just kind of put that stuff in there later on.
Hmm.
Um, Something that we found, especially hunting out here in this farm field right here where there's cows, active cows,
Yeah.
my infrared night vision camera has come in handy every
Yeah.
time because we can't see the we don't know where the cows are at, so we don't know
Uh,
what they're going to hunt. So we're out there with the infrared camera looking for the cows to try to find them, to make sure we can set up where we want to set up.
yeah.
So that has come in handy.
You didn't have the cows move in on y'all?
I wish Justin was here for that. There's a video. Where's the
Yeah.
video? We did use the goose flags to scare the cows away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tyler's pretty good at wrangling them. I will go after them, except for that bull. He don't move, so I'm not even going to try him anymore.
Yeah.
That was a little scary. Justin will sit in the blind and laugh the whole time. He will not get out of the blind, and I think he moved cows once, maybe if he's watching. He's been laughing, but other than that, he just sits in the blind and he goes, "Why don't you go ahead and get up there and get them cows out of the way real quick?"
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
He's like the grandpa of the group.
yeah. I ain't getting out of this dang blind.
Uh-huh.
Y'all,
Go
you
move
go.
that decoy.
Yeah, you go ahead and get that thing real quick. So
Mm-mm.
it was a good time.
Yeah. Old Jason asked what he missed. He didn't miss much. We just on here and chatting. But
Chris missing ducks and
yeah. Dude, if we were better shots on Saturday, we all could have shot a limit to include with teal. If obviously if I was a better shot Sunday morning, I would have came out with 2. So, and then obviously yesterday I would have been able to kill 2. So you're talking 4, and then the 3 of us, so that's 6, 12, 18. I would have been up 22 birds so far this season already. If shooting was on point, but it's just But that that's counting with the group on Saturday. But I mean, if I just count myself, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 10. 10 birds. But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like once November comes, I'll be able to crank them out pretty quick. So because gadwalls, you can kill 6, and I don't mind killing gadwalls. Same thing with divers. You get into buffle heads, like you can kill 6 buffle heads. So I feel like I'll be able to just crank out my numbers that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish. That's why I was like, we were talking in group, man. I need to fill the freezer up. I'm getting
Yeah,
worried. We need to. I want to hit it a little bit harder than what we're
yeah.
doing. But
October, I plan on killing at least 1 deer, and then I'll be
yeah,
done with it.
I want to probably do 2 or 3. Probably do a lot of jerky and freeze a lot. Just try to the goose. What I'm gonna do with the goose? I'm gonna make a video on this, but my golden retriever is very sensitive to certain foods.
Hmm.
But like all natural, real meat and stuff like that, he's fine with. Like I can feed him tons of chicken, all that stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the goose meat and I'm gonna make special jerky treat out of it just for him.
Yeah.
And because it's so hard finding something that I can trust to feed my dog. It's not.
Hmm.
So I think I'm gonna do some videos and kind of just making these all natural dog treats for the dogs.
Yeah.
Just help him out.
I know some people like Jason on here, the Boondock Adventures guy. Um, he does beef liver.
I never thought about
So
that.
I don't know if that may be something that you want to try, but I think they dehydrate it
Yeah.
and then cube it up from there. But that might be something to try
Yeah.
out.
Whew, shoot. I have to go down to Richmond tomorrow, so I'm gonna run my green top on the way back. See what they
Yeah.
got up there. But
Are
looks
y'all
like
going to the that expo?
yeah, I think it's October 1st. I think is Green Top
Yeah.
Expo. Yeah, we'll probably go down there. What I don't understand is we were talking about this with Tyler today. Um, the sportsman, the whole U.S. or East Coast sportsman show. I don't know if you've ever been to the one in Pennsylvania.
No.
It's huge. I mean, massive. But they have it every year in February.
Hmm.
I don't understand. You have the sportsman show at the end of the season every year.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never gone. I've seen pictures of it. It looks amazing, but it's like you buy this stuff at the end of the year, and now you're waiting 6 months to use it again,
Yeah.
which kind of sucks.
I think it's to get stuff off the shelf for new product.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. It's a way for them to push what they have left over from the season and
Hmm.
roll with it.
Yeah.
But so he's using calf liver.
Yeah, calf liver, and then that's how he cooks it there in the comments. So
Yeah, I was gonna take the goose, and I got this powder stuff, bunch of I don't know nutrient powder, so I put it on his food anyways.
yeah,
I was gonna powder that into the goose, but I don't know if I'll get any nutrients out of it after you dehydrate it. I mean, is the powder still gonna be there? Is any of that stuff gonna be there? Or am I just gonna dehydrate everything out of it?
you would think so. Like dehydrating, you're just drying it out. That's it. I don't think it takes any nutrients out of it, like as
Yeah,
if you like fry or like boil it or something.
right.
Like it's just almost the same as like vegetables. They say it's better steamed than it is boiled.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna do that garlic salt for keeping the fleas off them.
hmm,
It's a good all
that's
natural thing.
interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to get my dog. I can't wait.
When's the litter born?
She told me. Actually, I'll go ahead and give you like the
You got it from Maryland.
Belgian, no, Belgian way. It's in Virginia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
So
I
they
don't,
they bred her. They bred her on September 7th. And
Oh,
they said that they were going to give her an ultrasound in about 30 days. So that would be like October, at the beginning of October, to see if she's pregnant. And then how long do dogs stay pregnant? Like 2 months?
it's like 3. Yeah, I think 3 maybe.
3?
It's not
So we're
long.
looking probably like December, January timeframe now.
Would you, or I guess, I mean, at this early point in the stage, you're probably first pick, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been talking to her for almost 6 months now.
So did you get first pick on a boy or girl?
I told her I wanted a boy and I wanted chocolate, which they're breeding 2 chocolates together anyway. So
right, yeah, you just gotta see how many. I mean, with you being first pick, you shouldn't have to worry about it unless for some crazy reason it's an all female litter, which would be wild. But yeah, it's possible.
I mean, if it's an all female litter, then it is what it is. But I would prefer a male.
Yeah, that's how. I mean, I was originally getting a female golden, and then someone actually backed out. When I went to go look at them, we're doing, you do your tests, you drop something from them, see how reactive they are, and you hold them upside down and see how they react. Are they holdable or they freak out? You do all those tests when you're picking one out, and all the females had like one characteristic that was good about them, but none of them had any all solid good characteristics. And then Oakley was he was good. Lady said, "Oh, we had a lady drop out on a male," and I said, "What's the last male you got?" He was the last one. Nobody picked him, and he was right there. He was the only dog awake in the litter, and he was jumping on all the other puppies like he was active.
Yeah.
And I did all the tests with him. He aced every single one of them. I'm like, this is him. This is the one we want. So
yeah,
it's I'm happy with what I got.
That's good. I feel like at the end of the day, as long as you're happy with the dog that you picked, like,
you can't go wrong.
Yeah. As you're happy. Like,
yeah, somebody will say, "Oh, some dogs just ain't trainable." You can train. I've seen it. Through my trainer and the training we've done, you can train any dog. You just got to put the time in.
Yeah.
Some dogs.
TRI said 2 months for pregnancy and then 2 months for the dog to get old enough to leave away from the mom.
Yeah, 8 weeks was we have to wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Come here, buddy.
So,
come here.
That puts her at.
You're alive.
At the time that the 2 months starts at the time of the breeding. That's September, October, November. So the beginning of November is when they would be born, and then January would be the time to get picked up. That's pretty dog.
Oh, buddy, you just X that out. With them big paws.
Looks like he's out there in the field hunting already. That background.
I'll get back to it, boy. He's 80 something pounds now. Only 10 months old, 11 months old now.
Yeah, it's like the breeder I'm getting this dog from. Like, they're massive. Like Gibbs, my in-laws, chocolate that they got from them. I mean, he probably weighs every bit of 120 pounds. I mean, he's like super tall, lanky, massive, like bull head on him. I'm like, good Lord.
That's how his dad was. His dad was big, and they hunted geese, or they hunted, ducks down there in Newport News in Norfolk. So the guy was a big duck hunter. So his dad was a big duck dog. So you gotta name him Hershey.
Yeah, Hershey.
Yeah, what's your names?
We're gonna name him Cash.
Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Johnny Cash. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if we get a second one, we're gonna get a female and name it the whatever his wife's name was.
See, all these Goldens, they're named after Harry Potter characters, and Oakley's was Draco Malfoy. So I was like, well, let's call him Drake. Like freaking Drake from the Drake clothing and like Drake ducks and all that. So let's call him Drake. He's a duck dog.
Yeah.
Nope, wife lost it. Nope. She was like, nope, that's a rapper's name. We're not naming him Drake.
Oh my gosh.
was already Draco Malfoy, so I was going to call him Drake. But he's an Oakley.
I'm sure he caught on to the new name pretty fast.
Oh, yeah, he's smart. He ain't no dumb dog. That's
Our lab that we have, he's a lab mixed with a pit bull. His original name was Roscoe,
oh God.
like Roscoe Dash, like the
Yeah,
rapper.
I couldn't do that.
So we named him Bo, and he was pretty old when we changed his name, and he caught on to it pretty fast. It's almost like he hated his name.
Oh man, yeah, you can't beat it. It's the puppy stage sucks for a little bit. It's such a pain.
Yeah,
But I
you know,
mean,
with all
the
the
one
pissing in the
thing,
house and stuff.
do not use pee pads.
No,
No.
normally I just shove their nose in it and then give them a pat and then throw them outside.
We
Normally,
started doing those pee pads were like, what you're doing is you're just encouraging them to go in the house, just in a certain spot of the house where the pad is laying.
yeah.
So we just took them out, and it sucked, but we took them outside every 30 minutes.
Mm.
That was by the trainer's request. Right, 30 minutes to an hour. We tell them empty, 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 and we keep telling them empty. And then when he emptied, we said good empty, when we get him treats. And we had him potty trained 3 weeks.
Good Lord.
Yeah, he was fast.
Yeah.
We had him potty trained, good to go. He was crate. We broke him. Crate broke him the first night.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I mean, it was literally one night of whining for 2 hours in the crate, and he broke.
Yeah.
Right. He was fine. Just fine in it. I can put him in the crate right now and sit right next to him. He won't whine. He'll just sit there and lay down and go sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I ever really knew I was training them when I throw them in the crate. Like they would whine, but I mean, I'd get to the point where I just ignore the shit out of them and they'd just give up. You know, maybe that was part of the actual training part of it. But my biggest thing was training them for them not messing around the house when you're not home and not in the crate.
Right.
So, and I got Bo that way. Bo, like, don't really, as long as you leave the toilet seats up to the toilets and have water in the bowl, and then keep water in his bowl and then feed him. We only feed him once a day around 5 o'clock. As long as he has water and food, he don't care. But I want to get to that point with this lab. Like, I really don't want to have him in the crate, per se all the time. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we have, I think, and our trainer, of course, he does canines for a lot of the sheriff's offices. So he's very persistent. There's no breaks with him. He is very, very persistent. And, it's the positive reinforcement is what he pushes so much. He's like, I think you have like 3 to 5 seconds to positive reinforce what the dog did before it doesn't matter anymore because the dog doesn't realize what it did to get that positive reinforcement anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just always, good boy, good this, good that, whatever you did, good with the treat, good with that, with a treat. Just that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, have you found a trainer yet that you think you're going to use, or are you just going to do it yourself?
I'm doing all the training myself.
This is AKC. This is AKC certified dog, right?
Yeah. I'm doing it all myself.
Now, are you Are you going to get full registration or partial or limited? I mean,
I don't know. I'm doing the full shebang. I know that. I'm going all the way with it.
You'll have to ask your breeder that because most breeders will only give you a limited registration, which means that you're not allowed to breed him unless you have a full registration.
Uh-huh.
So like mine, Oakley was $2,000. It was another $500 to get the full registration, and the breeder had to agree to release the full registration.
Really?
Which pretty much the breeder releases the bloodline to you.
Uh-huh.
So that if you wanted to expand the bloodline, you're able to through now legally it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want, but it won't they won't be AKC puppies that the offspring won't be AKC certified.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing a lot of people want because you can get the AKC awards. The more awards you get, the more the stud fee is going to be worth it on the dog for sure. So we're going to be doing his first test actually on Sunday to get his first AKC certification.
Yeah.
So
well, then I'll have to send a message to this lady and see.
Yeah, see if it's going to be limited or full AKC registration.
So I need full.
Full if you want to breed them and have another generation.
Yeah. I feel like that would kind of be dumb in a way for me to do all that work.
Yeah, and then not be able to
all the way up to that point,
move the bloodline. That's why we did Oakley so early. As soon as we took him to the trainer, and the trainer was like, "Man, this is a hell of a stud right here." They're like, he's like, "You got full rights to this?" And we're like, "No." He's like, "You should probably get full rights to this dog."
Yeah.
He said, "Okay," but like Boondock said, I mean, you never know, man. Some breeders make you have them get fixed, keep bloodline pure right there.
Yeah.
So these people are very strict about their bloodlines and what they want to keep AKC certified, and because their bloodline they can make money off of.
Mm-hmm.
It's all on your have you signed a contract yet with them?
No.
Yeah, and should tell her to provide you the contract so you can read it and see what she's providing.
Yeah.
So I think
I'll reach out tomorrow and you said ask for a contract and then ask for if it's got full rights.
Yeah, full registration or limited registration.
Okay.
Yeah, and like TRI said too, your health test.
I know they do that. They do all the hip test and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, those are huge. And then make sure you have a warranty also.
Oh yeah, if the dog dies and that sort of thing, of something yeah.
But in the fine line, like for Oakley, you had 45 days to have the dog checked by your vet on your expense.
Mm-hmm.
To show a healthy health report. If you don't have the dog checked within 45 days from by your vet, warranty is null and void for anything.
Mm.
But yeah, so like I said, yeah, the health test, I think it's called God, I can't remember what the hell the test is called. It's really expensive for breeders. It's like $2,000 for your dog to have that test done.
Wow.
The one that they really like, but I mean that's what keeps the bloodline pure. I mean, and like Oakley, he has some kind of gene that his mom and dad carried, but he didn't carry, but he doesn't have it because I'm sorry, I think it was just his mom had some kind of OFA. What TRI said, OFA report.
Yeah,
that's the big one you want. Some kind of thing that makes the paws rough or something like that. But since only one of his parents was a carrier, he doesn't get it. So, but that was the only test. But yeah, OFA testing is very expensive, and you can't do it till the dogs are 2 years old.
Really?
Yeah, the testing is you can't do testing till the dog's at least 2 to have a full OFA panel done on the dog.
Hmm. Yeah, see, all this is new to me because, like, when we did the coon dog stuff, and we were, doing bench shows, we were doing night hunts, all up and down the East Coast. My dad was doing all the breeding and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And his the big thing then, because this was like early 2000s, late 90s, was PKC. Like he was like very against AKC for some reason. I don't know why, but the PKC was like the thing to have in the Virginia area.
PKC. I've never heard that
one. I think it's like, and don't quote me on this, but I think it was like Professional Kennel Club is what it stood for. So, but dude, we'd have a bunch of dogs like Grand Night champions and bench show champions and all that sort of stuff, and we were breeding them, and the puppies were selling good and all that stuff. But it was a lot of fun. But we never had to do tests. Like bloodline stuff and made sure like they weren't cousins or anything like that. But
Yeah.
it was pretty rock and rolling, and then like puppies were only costing like maybe $200 a pop. $200 to $500 a pop. So
Well, that must be nice. Yeah, UKC is another big one.
yeah, UKC. That's what it was. I knew he messed around with PKC, but UKC was what he was like really after.
And you can transfer your AKC dog over to UKC, so you'll be able to get to have two organizations. Your thing is,
Yeah.
Boondockers dogs half lab, half golden. Really?
Yeah, he
Yellow.
got that. He got this puppy. He got this puppy for free from like I think it was like Alabama.
Really?
Lady said, "Yeah, come on down, pick her up." So he went down there and picked her up for free, brought her home, and she's already like, doing like sit, stay, place. She already like retrieved stuff, and she's like really, really young.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like half yellow lab, half golden retriever, like tan yellow looking dog?
No, it's I think she's black.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty dog.
And then the Jack dog that he's been talking about, if I'm not mistaken, and Jason will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's her dad. Yeah, 12 weeks old.
12 weeks. Well, that's pretty good. That's real good for 12 weeks old to
Mm-hmm.
be able to retrieve and everything. I mean, that's real good. Breaking
Yeah.
out of that puppy stage. Yeah, black just like a lab. Wow.
But yeah, he used to train dogs. Like the shows that you see on like Thanksgiving, where they
Yeah,
like walk. Yeah, he used to do that back when he was a kid.
really.
Yep.
He knows all the ins and outs of the AKC organization. Then,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what we were. That's what really got us going. Actually, I remember last Thanksgiving we had already ordered or placed our order for Oakley, and we were watching the AKC tournament with the Goldens going by and all the labs. And we're like, man, this is gonna be awesome. Like,
Yep.
I can't wait to have a good looking dog. It's a great feeling. I mean, and our dog, he was already born by the time we were able to put our money down on him. So,
Yeah.
but we had to wait, of course, 8 weeks. I think we picked him at 4 or 5 weeks. I think is when we got to pick, and then we had to
Yeah.
wait until the full 8 weeks, and then. But they can shoot over our head now with a 22 until that release. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm still having problems with Oakley. He's still a little gun shy, but once we get going, he's fine. But I use Roman candles to get him going, kind of.
Yeah.
Just the flash and the thump initially, the little popping of the Roman candle, it kind of
Mm-hmm.
it helped out. But that's the biggest thing. And Justin taught me using 2x4s.
Yeah, and slap.
And smacking them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I got
like
Bo is he's not gun shy, doesn't care about fireworks or anything like that. But you blow a goose call or a duck call around that dog, oh my god! He'll sit there and howl and howl, and it's not like a normal dog howl either. Like it sounds like a horn.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oakley's the same way. When I hit that goose call, he is freaking out,
Yeah. I don't
jumping
know
it.
what it is.
Yeah, he's man, he is losing his shit. It's I don't know. I think it's instinct. I think that's the only thing I can think of, man. It's just that instinct of the dog.
Yeah.
You know, when we took him out there to the lake the other day just to get him on the boat, I wanted to get himself kind of his sea feet going. So make sure he
Yeah.
be balanced and not be jumping around everywhere. And all he wanted to do was jump in that damn water and start swimming. He was all about it. But I just don't. I don't trust that lake over there. The game warden
Yeah.
kind of warned me to watch out because they can have high rates in the water of the like the parasites
What
and
like
stuff. In the water.
oh parasites? Yeah.
Yeah, the game warden's over there one day when we had him as a puppy. We were getting him exposed to the water a little bit, and game warden's like, "Hey, make sure you don't let your dog drink too much of the water in the pond because make them pretty sick. He was like,
Mm,
this pond's not too bad, but he said more stagnant ones that don't move water too much. He said you don't put your dog in that.
yeah.
So I kind of
See,
very
out in Kansas when I was out there, they put restrictions on certain lakes because they had that blue green algae.
oh
And
yeah.
yeah, apparently it touches the dog, it'll kill him.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that algae's no joke. I mean, I remember we were in Florida when that algae bloom hit probably 4 years ago, and that's when they put restrictions on the drum and the trout and everything. Like you couldn't fish anything, man. They almost closed the whole fishing season down.
Yeah.
And we were trolling. We were coming out of a cut, and the boat in front of us hit an algae bloom, and just the mist coming off their boat with that algae bloom hit us, and everybody started coughing and gagging. And we couldn't catch our breaths. It,
Oh
it
my
hit us.
god.
It hit us right in the lungs, man.
Yeah.
It's just bad. It's terrible.
Yeah, I bet.
That algae bloom is no joke, you know. And when they say don't be on the water, don't be swimming in it, do not swim in that. That algae bloom is bad, and
Yeah.
it's bad for ducks too. Circling back to keeping about ducks, man. It's ducks, geese, you know that stuff kills them.
Yep. Yep. And by the time that they know it, which I mean they probably sense it.
Oh yeah.
You know, because they have their spots that they go to and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad to say, but yeah, probably a lot do get wiped out from that. So not coming down through like the Midwest and hitting the blue green algae, and then you know heading even further south and getting into the other bacteria. You know, Lord forbid they turn around and took some shot on the way down south, and they got like open wounds and all that stuff.
Oh man. Now, did you get 2 duck stamps this year?
No, I only got the federal duck stamp, and then my state duck stamp was free.
That's what I got. I got a state duck stamp, which I didn't get a state one last year, but I got a state one this year, and I got my federal one in.
Yeah.
It was different. I didn't realize I got a state one in.
Yeah, Virginia does the actual like stamp mailed to you.
Yep.
Yeah, Tennessee doesn't though. It's almost like a permit.
Gotcha. I'm still waiting on my floating blind permit tag. I got my sticker, but I don't have a fixed tag to put on the boat to make it official.
Yeah.
Which is a pain, but it is registered. I finally got the registration. I looked on my app, Go Outdoors, and it's showing that I'm a boat owner. So
there you go.
Sent in the paperwork.
You could probably still use that as a blind right now, though.
I can because I had the sticker for 2023, so I am technically legal. I just have to put it. I have to fix it to the boat.
Yeah,
that's about it. So
yeah,
but honestly, I don't think we're even gonna get to that this year.
No,
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. We'll see.
I think once November hits, y'all be out there a little bit more. The thing is that, and this is where I found my issue just with September, is I have the idea, like during the summertime, I'm like, all right, I want to use the boat. Like I can't carry gear anymore because I can't haul the stuff in because my back. Like I'm gonna have to use the boat. Then when it comes time to like the day prior, I'm like, well, maybe I could go do this instead. Like always try to like change the plan.
Yep.
But I'm telling myself like this season, like, look, I'm pounding Reelfoot Lake. I'm heading out west. I'm gonna use the boat a lot, and I'm gonna make sure I actually do it. So you almost like have to force yourself. But I feel like if y'all turn around and hit the rivers with that boat and get back in some of those sloughs that people don't get to, I think y'all do pretty good this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for with the lake because it is a nuke lake. The water does stay warm.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel as worried going out on that lake, especially when it's dead cold, because I know the water temp will actually still be manageable, so you don't die.
Yeah.
It's not like the river where we're in there and it's icing over and she's getting bad. It's icing.
Yeah.
Last year when we went duck hunting over, and I guess that was around January time. That was miserable.
Yeah.
Get out of the thing and our waders are frozen to ourselves. It was just.
Justin's got me out on a few of those hunts. It makes for a good story. That's for real.
God. Whew.
Yeah, that river that y'all are on is it can turn sideways real quick. That's for sure. But
You got
I feel like
really
if you go south and get on like the James, or you get into where like the Rappahannock is like bigger, like closer to the coast, y'all should do fine because it shouldn't really change that much for you.
It does.
Yeah.
Because as soon as we go east of I-95,
yeah,
all laws apply.
Oh goodness.
West of I-95, no blind laws apply, no jump shooting laws apply. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
You cross that I-95 bridge there in Fredericksburg, all the laws change because now you're on a coastal region. So now you're dealing with coastal birds and everything is different. The whole season, everything's different.
Yeah.
As soon as you cross that dang I-95.
You got better hunting out that way though.
I know. God.
So I would
Too many great
I'd swallow that one and go deal with the laws and get into the birds.
I know, but it's just there are so many vague laws when it comes to this. What's a floating blind? What's not a floating blind? What's jump shooting? What's not jump shooting? It's very vague. It's vague for a reason.
Yep.
And it can hem you up really quick.
Yep.
Very quick. And it sucks because we're talking
like what Jason just said.
Yeah.
Huh?
Good old Nova.
Yeah, good old Nova. But it's just like what Jason said from Boondocker Adventures. He said that the floating blind. So we're talking about the blind that we built that's floating. It's not an actual like boat with a blind on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and that's where like Virginia leaves it vague like that. Is that it just depends on what mood that the game warden's in.
Exactly.
How big does he want the ticket?
Right. That's why I did everything. I got my blind permit. I got my floating blind permit. I got all these little permits so that when we do, we should be legal.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. I hate the vagueness of the laws. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come into play. Okay. For the sake of it, we're going to say Fauquier County here in Virginia.
Yep.
You can it's an early deer season. We have early and late antlerless deer season. So our deer season starts September and it's not going to end until almost April 1st this year. But then comes in the stipulation of not at wildlife management areas. Certain wildlife management areas you can hunt. Certain it doesn't apply. Certain wildlife management areas have their own season that's completely different than the season that's in the county or the state.
Mm-hmm.
And then some are no Sundays. Some you can hunt Sundays. Some you can't hunt this. Some you can't hunt that. It's just you got to be almost a lawyer to read the fine lines and fine print.
And it's not built for the traveling hunter. You know what I mean?
No.
Like if you just are on X and you're like, oh, here's one located in southern of this county, which you know where I'm talking about. And you just pick it and you show up on a Sunday and you're like, oh well, I can hunt Sundays everywhere else, and you turn around and hunt it. Like you literally have to, like what you said, be a lawyer and dig into that WMA and know everything about it before you hunt it, which is wild to me.
And trust me, the game wardens don't come after you. They just sit there in the parking lot and wait.
Yeah.
And you come out and they're like, hey, how are you? Let me speak to you real quick. I had them when I was fishing the Rappahannock. They didn't even come down to speak to me fishing. They saw my truck, ran the tag, ran the registered owner, pulled my name up, and then pulled that I had a license. and then yelled at me from the bridge, "Hey man, I already ran your stuff. You're good. Have a good day." They won't even get out of their car, man. They just cruise down the road and run tags, and then
Yeah.
who's actually down there fishing.
Oh my gosh. I guess it's better than walking in on somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, old Tyler was with me on that one, but it was.
I like running into them, really, to be honest with you. Besides just getting the tickets, all the tickets I've gotten so far. But like, I like to pick their brain. I like to
Right.
bother the shit out of them because my tax dollars pay for your like Justin probably get mad at this, but my tax dollars pay for your paycheck, just like y'all's tax dollars pay for mine. I'm gonna bother the shit out of you because I want to know everything about like all these wild and vague laws. So that way, if I hear it from you and I'm doing it on a WMA that you control, you're the one that told me this, and I make sure I got the GoPro rolling and I save the footage. You
Yep.
know, so that way, turned around and he comes back around and he's like, "No, you're not allowed to be doing that." And I'm like, "Hold up here," and I scroll back on my phone and find it. And I'm like, "Well, this is you literally telling me I can do it." You know?
Yeah, I had. I think the funniest encounter I ever had was actually North Carolina with a game warden. I fished North Carolina coastal fishing for 15 plus years.
Yeah.
Say, yeah, 15 plus years. I fished Outer Banks area, and I have fished every October for 15 years now. Red drum tournaments. Every time they're going on, we're out there fishing red drum. Day before Thanksgiving, nobody's down there. I'm on the beach, sitting there, and I hear, "Hey, sir, how are you doing?" And I turn around and I go, "Holy shit, you're a game warden." And he goes, "Well, yeah." And I'm like, "Man," I said, "I've been fishing down here all these fucking years, and you catch me the day before Thanksgiving on the beach. I'm the only one on the beach." And he said, "Well, do you have a license?" I said, "Well, of course I do." I said, "I've never been caught by y'all, but I got a license. Here you go." And he just looks at it. He goes, "All right." He said, "What are you fishing for?" I said, "Drum and some speckled trout." He's like, "Well, I heard on the radio this morning they're catching trout over here in Kitty Hawk Bay, so you might want to go hit that tomorrow morning." I was like, "Cool. Thanks for the fishing advice, and be good." But that was the coolest encounter I ever had. Just
Yeah.
I always expect, we're always, red drum. You got to be right in the slot. It's real strict laws. Everything's real strict. You got to be right in the money on everything, but we're always careful about it. But I catch them as I'm just sitting there on a dang 5-gallon bucket, just looking at my fishing rod, and it's 50 degrees outside.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've had some pretty cool encounters with game wardens before. I mean, so far as like giving up spots and where to go, I've only gotten that on, with fishing.
Yeah.
But so far as hunting, like, I'd say that one time up there in Maryland, they actually gave me a little bit of pointers and told me to stay closer to post, which was beneficial, and I actually killed more birds down there. So I could say, they kind of set me up. They gave me like the general region. They didn't say like, "Hey, you need to go hunt this cove," but all my other interactions have been pretty poor. So especially in like Virginia, and then out here they got a very bad rap, just because I mean, I know that they're not the ones that make the rules, but their commissioner and all that sort of stuff is like an asshat and just doesn't know anything about hunting, and they change a bunch of rules and all that sort of stuff and regulations, and it makes the locals mad, and I don't know. It's just different.
Yeah, I have to say, man, I've never had to be warned, but had plenty of run-ins. But they've always been pretty decent. Never really kind of gave me any shit,
Yeah.
Park rangers too. I mean, I don't really go too far, but park rangers were always pretty decent too, running different areas. But like you're saying about the WMAs, some of them aren't obviously practical. We have the one here locally.
That one's not practical at all.
The one that's on the mountainside. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Up in Office 66.
Yeah, that one's not practical. I don't think.
No. Me and Tyler did try that last year. It's not fun. If we would have shot a deer, we would have to leave it down there. There's no way. We were hiking 5,000 feet back, or however many feet we came down. It was gnarly.
How they made that a WMA is beyond me.
It's because the land was cheap because it's on the side of a damn mountain.
Yeah.
Virginia's like, oh man, we need to add some more WMAs, so let's go ahead and buy the side of this damn mountain and call it a WMA just so we can say that we have so many thousands of acres of wildlife management area. That's a joke. Yeah. And then they get you. They get you in that place because they stock the pond with trout.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's a trout pond.
Yep. I used to tear the trout. They tear the trout up there at that pond.
But you got to have a trout license. A lot of people think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Game warden is there every weekend.
Yep.
He gets.
Yeah, I used to stop by him all the time. Every time I went up there trout fishing, but I mean, it's almost like those fish do a loop. It'd be like almost every 15 minutes. You turn around and you'll catch one, won't catch nothing for another 15 minutes, and they'll come back around. So, but they were like that every single year. I fished it. But the other WMA that's really close to y'all, that's well known. That I don't know. That's kind of like a 50-50. Because I'm sure if you work it, you can find it.
You got to work it. Yeah, you can work it. Yeah, there's plenty of. There's that WMA is, it's pretty big and it's split into sections.
Yeah.
And if you go certain ways, you'll get far enough away from people that you won't have to worry about anybody up on top of you. The only thing you have to worry about, though, is unfortunately, there's a lot of hiking trails.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people who don't realize that there's hunting involved in that WMA.
Yeah.
You get people who just don't understand that, and they're just walking with their kids and stuff down in the class, and you're 100 yards off of it, blended in, hunting right there. You know, and that was the same one I ran into, the one on the mountainside there, because the Appalachian Trail runs straight through there.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
So we had a group of people who were tourists from Asia come through there, and here's me and Tyler camoed out with guns around, and they're all like, "Oh, da, 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 da," like going off, and they're taking pictures of us and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we just came straight out of the woods, and like we just intersected them as they're walking down the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
There was like 20 of them, dude. They freaked out, man. They're taking pictures and I don't know. I mean, they were having Asian Pacific of some sort, but they're taking pictures, pulling their iPhones out, taking pictures of us. Oh yeah.
Y'all are Instagram famous.
Oh, we were some kind of Instagram famous on somebody's. Oh my god, it was a mess.
That's awesome.
And that's the bad thing about WMAs is I wish, like they do in Tennessee for y'all, they close them down for hunting and hunting only.
Yep.
I don't need people running their horses down the trails. The horse people are terrible here.
Mm-hmm.
Running their horse down the trails.
Yeah.
You know, next thing you know, someone blasts a shot off their 308 at a deer, and their horse is bucking.
Yeah.
You know, it's dangerous. You shouldn't have horses in a WMA while active hunting is going on.
Yep. They throw the rider off. The rider can get hurt. The horse turn around and take off. Some inexperienced hunter will turn around and shoot the horse. Like, it's nothing but bad news that could happen with that.
But it's the horse people spend a lot of money and they have a lot of say on things.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all
especially in Northern Virginia, that's for sure.
We all know how that is around here. The horse industry is pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
So
all your fox hunters and all that sort of stuff. I used to deal with all of them, like all the people out of Middleburg.
Oh yeah.
God, the plains. I mean, just that whole section of the county. I wish that they could like cut off and just name it its own California and just like do its own thing. Like y'all just stay in your little area.
Yeah, the amount of money people spend in fox hunting, especially getting all dressed up like it's Halloween.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Because I used to work at McClanahan's right across the street from Exxon.
Yeah, they're my kin.
McClanahan's? Nuh-uh.
Yeah, they're my kin.
Who you related to from the McClanahan's?
I'd have to ask my mother, but they're related. I'm related to their family.
I know the whole family, everything.
I'll have to ask my folks.
So, because I worked there for 8 years.
Really?
I ran like pretty much the entire the shop. Like the last 3 years I worked there, I was working full time.
What's the craziest picture you've ever had to develop that you saw?
Well, I think the guy's dead now. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's still shooting porn or not, but he'd bring through the 120 film. So you know how you have like the normal old film where it's 35 millimeter. It was kind of like normal. It was like maybe an inch and a half like wide. Well, the 120 film was a lot bigger. It's like maybe 2 or 3 inches, and it's a square. And he was like this creepy old dude. You know, he was mixed. You know, a mixed guy. He always wore like these sweatpants, like these gray sweatpants. I can't remember this guy's name to save my life, but he'd have these big old the bug like old man glasses, and he'd bring in like all these rolls, and we had to like specialty like mark the bag before we put them back there, because the 2 girls that worked back there, it was Jenny and Whitney, and they were the only ones that were allowed to mess with it. Well, it got to the point where I was like running the front and the back, so I was like, take in orders, I take it back there, start developing, give it to Whitney for her to print it, and when it developed, like you pull them out, like you could literally see everything. But that was probably the most wildest thing.
Oh my god,
it's pretty nuts.
I always wondered that, like, how many, like, what over the years, over the last, God, they've been there for 50, 60 years now.
Yeah.
The amount of things that they probably saw developing freaking pictures. I mean,
yeah,
that's insane.
Have you heard some of old McClanahan stories? Pooch?
No, Pooch. Yeah, Pooch. Okay, yeah, Pooch is who.
He's the owner.
Yeah, he's related to my grandmother.
Okay.
Somehow.
Now your grandma's name isn't Fawn, is it?
No, it's Jeannie.
Okay, because I know he's related to a fawn. They all have like nicknames for each other.
Yeah, so I can't remember my grandfather's nickname, but they're all Curtises. So the Curtises relate to the McClanahans.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how it all worked out.
Is your grandma still alive?
Yeah.
She's probably come to his Christmas Eve party over there at the shop before. I probably spent time with your grandma at some point.
Probably has. I mean, that my whole family lives literally a mile up the street from there. Yeah. One of the old neighborhoods that's still up there. So,
but yeah, old Mr. McClanahan, he shot for the Marine Corps back in like Vietnam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and if you go upstairs in the attic of the actual shop, that stuff up there is wild. He's got like old like Vietnam pictures and like shit that like these historians that like study the Vietnam era would like be drooling over to get their hands on.
Really?
Yep.
That's wild. Who would have thought?
It's nuts. There's a lot of history within that building too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you rip up the carpet, you can tell where people used to dance in there because it used to be an old dance hall.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I
never knew that. I've seen pictures of when there's nothing there really, and the bypass wasn't even there. Nothing was there around it. I mean, you had no Taco Bell. Well, it's a Dunkin' now, but
no. You used to have like just Frost Diner and McClanahan Camera. That's about it.
That was it. And jeez. I try to support them as much as I can. I go over there, get my pictures done and all that stuff. Try to support the small business as much as possible.
Yeah.
But back to fucking ducks and hunting now. Got to keep this page relevant. How many people we got watching?
Just one. I'm probably gonna hop off here in a minute. It's probably just either TRI or Jason, one or the other.
We're losing it. That's like the day when you were on TikTok live. I hit it and I was like, he's got 200 viewers.
Yeah.
Like, let me get in on this.
Yep.
And I'm like in on it. I'm like, man, he's getting it right now. And then it was like,
I was like,
just
what? I was like, what did I say? I was like, did I say something wrong? And then I was like, all right, I guess it's just the algorithm. People just scrolling through, you know.
You've got to give them your Cash App and all that crap, like all the other people do on the military uniform on TikTok Live.
Yep.
Yeah, he crashed pretty hard on that, and I was like, "Whoa, man, this is terrible."
Yeah, this is TRI watching right now.
All right.
But
I'll
go ahead and get up on off here.
Got that. Hopefully, we'll have some good stories from the weekend. So I'm gonna hit it hard. I'm gonna try to hunt at least.
I'm going back out west. I'm not going to Reelfoot, but I'll probably go about an hour and a half west.
Yeah, I think we'll see if we don't hunt his Saturday morning. I think me and Tyler will probably go hunt those 2 ponds that we have available. And I'll probably bring a shotgun and a rifle just in case.
Watch it now.
Well, I'm good.
Watch it now, because they turn around and they'll come out there and they'll bust you. They'll be like, nope, the rifle has lead, and there you go. Get your ticket for it.
I'll have Tyler hold the rifle and I'll hold the shotgun. So Tyler's deer hunting, I'm bird hunting.
There you go.
if I can shoot a goose with a 308, I mean, call me Chris Kyle. I mean, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. So,
oh Lord,
yeah. If we don't hunt over there, I'll probably go over there with the 308 and a shotgun, and shoot whatever moves and go from there.
Yeah.
There's enough things in season to kill something. So
for sure. Well, hopefully y'all get on them.
We'll see. So we'll kick back next week and see what we got.
Yep. All right, man.
I'll see you.
Yep. See you later. All right, everybody. Thanks, TRI, for hanging in there with me. I'll see y'all later.